Welcome everyone to the Mastermind Book Club. Tonight we are going over a very powerful and humble book, which is 25 Ways to Win with People. Do we need to learn all 25 ways?
Some of them would do as well.
I would say one is better than none, two is better than one, and three makes you very powerful or more. So if you concentrate on one, I think you're okay, because then that's the focus. Remember, in this world, everybody wants to be the clown that juggles 3 to 6 balls, right? But what happens if you only juggle 1 ball? It's not really a juggle. However, you become an expert on tossing that ball. So that's the thing. The key here is you don't want to win with everyone, but you want to win with one way that is your most natural way of being truthful and happy. That's what we're going to talk about today. And I wanted to ask everyone here before I go into the review, does anyone want to comment on what they've learned on this book? Any comment, any nuggets that they've taken from this book? Because this book is powerful. Yeah, good, Reg, right?
So I think the most important thing that I got from this book, and I didn't listen to all of it, and I don't, like you said, it's not necessarily you have to have all 25.
Correct.
On 1, 2, 3, or whatever. But I think the biggest thing one of the biggest things I've taken away from this is this fact of there was a mention of how we focus like 80-something% of the time on ourselves. And I think that's like a major thing to key in on, because that's probably the reason why we don't have much influence with other people, why we don't, maybe, get as far as we may want to get, because of so much focus that we put on ourselves. So if we can take that 80-some-odd% and shrink it down to a much smaller number, and then start to put more emphasis on other people in terms of, positive influence, like not criticizing others, but, raising them up, thinking kindly of people, doing for others, those types of things. I think with that alone, that can be a major impact or major influence in you getting from, where you are and taking some of the complete focus of yourself and putting it towards others, such that you become a benefit to other people. Because a lot of times, we're focused on our own problems or issues or whatever. And a lot of times when people, for example, are stuck in what they call their own problem, they're like mired in that slump or mired in that thing where they're like, oh, woe is me and this sort of thing. But you can actually do more benefit for yourself by actually going out and helping somebody else. And that right there could actually be a major uplift or boost to helping yourself to get out of your situation and kind of moving forward, so that you, that you're able to sort of move forward just because you've actually helped others. There's a bigger thing of helping others versus just like helping yourself only, or just being stuck in your own ego and such.
Wow. Well, everyone, we're done with this class. Reggie has hit Reggie, that was really good. That was really good what you just said there. Powerful and simple. And we're always trying to look for the most convoluted, most complex, most wild route to winning with people. And you just summarized it there. And that's the reality. You're not going to have everything, but if you can concentrate, I mean, unbelievable things can happen. Thank you, Reggie. Thank you for sharing. Anybody else wanna?
I have a comment.
Yes, Martha.
I'm glad to do the words in the right time, in the right moment, in the right time, the right works, and the timer is very important for this issue. And I believe you have to talk to your heart. Listen, talk to people with your heart. And the book say that, and I believe that too for a long time. No, it's not the first time. And the values, and the dignity, the integrity, you talk to people, they feel you. I believe they feel you, and they know when you talk with people with honesty and sincere, and you really care about people. And for me, this is important. It's something I always say, life is a circle. Whatever you give up, it's going to come back to you. Whatever you give out, it's going to come back to you. And that's what this book say. If you beat nice with people, you have another people, your success is going to come in. If you put the time, the right time when you want to receive your success, your dreams, or whatever you want into your life. And for me, this is very powerful because I always believe in that. And I read it. I read the book, and I was very surprised. This is, I think, I believe this book was right in the 1974 or something like that. And it's something that is forever. It's something. It's very long time ritual or very long time philosophy, and we still practice the same philosophy. It works. Yes. It works. And when you a good person and you believe in God, and you talk to your heart, and you put your timer and to help another people. If you don't have people, you look for people. There's a lot of people looking for help and needs help. And especially especially now, we have a lot of people need help.
Need help. A lot of people need help.
A lot of people need help. And if you help these people, you help yourself at the same time. You're not doing it because you want to help yourself, but this is common. It's common. Correct. Life is a circle. Something coming to your life.
Correct.
There it is.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Martha. Thank you. That's beautiful what you just said. Anyone else would like to share with what they've learned from the 25 ways to win with people?
Yeah, I'll share.
Yes.
You know, people like to feel important. You know, we like to feel important, and that we matter. You know, and so when we're able to tap into that, you know, into other people, and compliment them on the things that, you know, we notice about them, but make sure, like Martha said, that they're sincere, you know, because people can actually feel that. Find something to say positive to them, and then you can win people over like that, you know, sincerely.
Correct.
So that was, you know, one of the things that I gathered from there.
That's right. That is the truth. Thank you, Gina. Thank you. I really appreciate everyone's words. Very powerful. Does anyone else want to add to what they've learned from this book?
Just
John Maxwell's 25 Ways to Win with People. Yes.
Just all of the comments that I'm hearing so far. And so I kind of just took away, because I only listened to a little bit myself, but I love John Maxwell. He's absolutely one of my all-time favorite authors. And he always has so much to offer. And this one, it just seemed like just cultivating the gift of communication. I think it was Reggie that was just saying that a lot of times when we're communicating with others, we're really not listening to them. We're kind of just like waiting until we can get our little input, you know, and like the other young lady just said, people can feel that, you know, they know if you're really connecting with them. And I think the other lady said that, you know, people, they need to be listened to, or, you know, they want to feel like they're important. And so you don't connect with them if in fact you're thinking about yourself and, you know, how you're going to respond to what they just said, instead of giving them your full attention and listening to what it is that they have to say, taking your eyes off yourself and putting it on other people. So all the comments that everyone made is just right on point, and I just totally agree.
Thank you, Angela. Wow, that is beautiful too. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Anyone else want to add?
Hi.
Hey.
Oh, sorry.
Hi.
No, go ahead, Tawana.
Oh, actually, I just want to say, I got that it's like just treating people with value and just seeing the best in them, you know, instead of like just like forming like a thought about them, just see people for, just see people, and just add value to that.
Yes,
It's
correct.
I think
Adding
it's
value is powerful. Adding value is power, power, power. So thank you, Ty. Thank you. Charles.
I just
Yeah.
want to comment that the theme of working on yourself still is even in this book, that people follow confidence. And, they start off talking about working within, so that work you do within shows outward, and people are attracted to that. The law of attraction goes with this book also. And just the
Correct.
self-confidence piece that I wanted to mention, along with what everybody else was saying about how you treat people, how you greet them. In 32 seconds, you try and find something to, I guess, uplift them, to encourage them. So that's what I wanted to add too, along with what everyone else said.
Thank you, Charles. Beautiful, beautiful. Anyone else? Let's see, did we cover anyone? Everyone? Making sure. If you want to speak, going once, going twice. All right, all right. Well, you guys pretty much summed up this book. I mean, this is a powerful book. And, there are a few things that can be learned. And what everyone said here adds value to what I'm going to say. It's a little bit different, but I think it's similar as well. I mean, just ask yourself these questions. How can you give what you do not have?
Amen.
How can you give what you do not have? Most of us have good intentions, good hearts. Therefore, we desire to give. I mean, is it crazy that we desire to give? Is it crazy that we desire to give? But this is the problem. This is the dilemma, the catch-22. Most people that have good hearts and that desire to give have very little to offer. That hit me hard. John Maxwell says this. I wrote it down. I wrote it down. I was like, what? And I've seen myself there many times. Many times. I've had a good intention. I have a desire to give. But in the end, I've had very little to offer. Did you know that you have to build value for yourself in order to give to others?
Absolutely. Yes.
Definitely.
So each and every one of you here in this call is a specialist at something. What extent, I do not know. Only you know that. And sometimes you don't. You have to hear it from other people. Because at times, I don't even see what I can do until someone comes along and says, oh, man, thank you for this. Really? In my mind, it's like, really, I did that? I'm like, wow, I could do that? Oh, okay. So, that's good. Because if you don't hear it, you don't know sometimes. That it's automatic. If you remember the 4 levels of competence, right?
Say, David.
Yes?
May I interject there?
Yes, you may.
I was just thinking of Waddles, what he was talking about, the science of being rich, right? That love is like, when you have love in your heart, it's like an expression of wanting to give someone as well, right? You want to give something when you love someone. And so if he was saying, if you don't have money or you're not rich, you can't, you're not able to express that love.
Correct.
Further, rather than saying perhaps that I love you, but you want to be able to give something. So what you're saying right now kind of like, to me, connects with that,
Resonates.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
It is a huge connection, isn't it?
Yes.
And thank you. I love Waddles' book. I listen to it. Wallace Waddles, The Science of Getting Rich. I listen to it regularly, every moment I can.
Yes.
So are you forgetting to add value to yourself? That's the reality. Are you forgetting to add value to yourself? You can't always give. Or you could. But when are you going to add value to yourself? Remember, just like Wallace Waddles says, you can't always Just be the good person that's always giving when you don't take for yourself, because God wants you to take for yourself. He wants you to be successful. He wants you to be rich. He wants you to go out and fulfill your passion. If you don't fulfill your passion, then what next? Are you acquiring knowledge? That's what we're doing in this group, so that's good. So one step ahead there, right? Gaining a new skill. Each of you can gain a new skill. I can gain a new skill. It takes time. It takes repetition. But eventually you can get there. And don't do it alone. Have someone keep you accountable that is serious about keeping you accountable. Not someone that you're going to say, oh, I have an accountability partner. No, someone who's going to challenge you and ask you the right questions to make sure you're getting ahead. Now, these are the important words that John Maxwell goes over. Do you have scarcity, or are you building abundance? Are you limited, or are you unlimited? Do you fear, or do you have no worries? Most of us are in the rat race, but most of us could be makers. Are you a taker, or do you give and create? These are the powerful words that John Maxwell uses. Now, he used them much fancier than I could ever imagine yet. Eventually, I'll get there. But John Maxwell uses these words powerfully. So he has one principle, and it's that stories stick. And remember that principles fade. So if I teach you a principle and I don't give you a story, the principle is going to go away. It's going to perish. But the story sticks. What's the story? We all desire to help others. I know at one point I started helping others. And when I was 13, 14, I would always give. People would ask me, why do you give? Why are you so volunteerish? If that word exists. I used to be the volunteer for everything. And what was my response? I don't know. I just love to do good. Have you been there? Do you know somebody there? Do you know someone who's been there? I never had a why to helping out others. I never had a why. Until when? Until my daughter was born. Because if I know I can help my daughter, then I can help other children. And that's my goal. That's my promise. Once my daughter gets ahead with her walking and talking, I'm going to help others. And for me, the work will only begin once my daughter gets on her feet. It might take a while, but I'm not giving up. And you've heard this many times. So, what's your story? I'm certain it started out something similar to me. Maybe you weren't as willing to give to others as I was, or maybe you were. And maybe you never thought about a question like this for someone you might know. But I want to summarize this book with one very powerful quote. Let me know if anyone's heard of this quote. Right? If you want happiness for an hour, what do? Why not take a nap? Go to lunch, right? If you want happiness for a day, what do? Go fishing. Take the day off. If you want to be happy for a month, take a vacation. Maybe find a girlfriend or a boyfriend for a month, or a mate. I don't know. Right? If you want to be happy for a year, what do for a year to be happy? I'm certain you can think of better things that I can. Maybe you can inherit a small fortune. Maybe you can run away from everybody. Maybe you can go to an island where you can be you. That's how you become happy for a year. But what happens if you want to be happy throughout your life for a lifetime? What do? Each of you has hit the answer.
Help others.
Help
Serve
others.
others.
Yes. Are
I
you
know the
helping
quote.
others? Are you helping others? Are you helping others? You see, I'd love to help others, but if you don't have a why you are helping others, then there won't be any how. That's easily overcome, that's easily challenged, that's easily surpassed. Help others with a purpose. Fulfill your purpose so that when you fulfill your purpose, you'll be able to help others abundantly, right? And I know you've heard of a half, is it a half a cup? What is it? Half cup empty or half cup full? I believe is the saying, or something similar to that. You know, you've heard of that saying. So fill your cup first so that you can fill other people's cups. All right. Now I can do many things. I can do many things, and I know each one of you can. But what happens if you become very proficient in one thing? People will see you for that one thing, right? How did I start out? I started out in health. And some of you know me from health. Some of you know people who I've assisted in turning around their health lifestyle. And once I learned that, then I jumped to investing. And as I was investing, I was still picking up health. So become a person who fills their own cup with their family's cup, and then you can pour into other people's hearts much better, much faster. Do you think it's a coincidence that there are many people who lead and have our attention? It's not a coincidence. It's because they've gone through what we've gone through, maybe worse, maybe better, but similar. And I know you, each and every one of you, understand the ways to win with people. However, how are you winning with yourself? That's the question here, all right? If you're not winning with yourself, how are you going to win with others? That's the bottom line. So I want to keep these brief because I know he offers a lot. John Maxwell is very powerful, and he didn't start out that way. I heard he did some books that were not too great, and I was like, man, I haven't done any books that are too great yet, but they're coming. They're coming. Those books that are going to make me a best-selling author internationally, they're coming. They're coming. Maybe not soon enough, but they're coming. So this is it for this session on John Maxwell's 25 Ways to Win with People. Remember, the most important one is the 26th one. Win with yourself, right? Win with yourself. And I know some of you apply this, but sometimes we forget and we need a reminder, right? Get greedy with yourself. Get selfish with yourself, right? If you're not filling your own cup, who's going to fill it for you, right? Right, Charles?
Yes, sir.
Right, Floyd? Gina?
Yes.
Martha?
Yes.
Ty?
Yes.
Angela? Right? Dick
Yes.
Juan? And Elmer. If you're not filling your cup, who's going to fill it for you?
Nobody.
Right?
Nobody.
So if you need assistance, communicate. If you don't want to communicate, read a book. If you don't want to read a book, go search somewhere that you haven't been already. Because that's how you get answers. Right? I had a very, very patient day trading. And I don't know, I'm not trying to get you all to trade here, but listen. I was trying to make a couple, let's say four figures of return today. All right? I was trying to make it. It didn't happen. But most traders out there are so impatient that they run away. And I saw that happen all day. I stood there. Why? Because I believe that what I'm doing, it might have not happened today, but it's going to happen tomorrow. I believe it. If you don't believe in yourself, in what you're doing, Why are you doing it? Why are you doing it? What's the purpose? How are you going to get there? I gave a lot of people today leads on how to invest. Some people thank me. Some people have not said anything. Right? So a lot of people like that, right? They don't thank you. They don't comment. So, I mean, how would you feel if you invested, let's say, I'm just going to pick a number here. Let's say $5,000 today, right? That's how many shares? That's 1,000 shares. And you made $1,000 because of the advice I gave. How would that make you feel?
Awesome. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Indeed.
Well, I have proof that I gave this advice last night, and some people call me today because the advice I gave, they would have made money any which way if they were listening and they were ready to take the opportunity. Right?
Mm.
So I'm not giving this information always for free. However, I thought, let me give out this information because some people just need another reminder and need to be aware that when it's about money producing activities, I want to produce money as well as you want to produce money. So that's why I give out this information. To be happy, fill your own cup so that you can fill other people's cup after yours is filled. And believe me, they will appreciate it better. Not just taking the little bit that you have. There are some people who want to become speakers who I have mentored and have somewhat dropped me. Used to attend this class, used to have one-on-ones with me, and maybe they're busy, maybe they're not. But I can tell if you're not filling your own cup, how are you going to fill up other people's cup? Maybe that got them upset, right? Right, Gina? Isn't that right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Possibly, yeah.
I don't know how else to explain it, but I'm going to be offering you opportunity in the next coming weeks. Maybe you'll like it, maybe you don't. But the best thing is you're going to meet people. Each of you is going to meet people. You should always have more than one thing to talk about and be ready to offer other people. If you understand what I'm trying to say. What do I mean by that? You should always have opportunities of making some type of income. It could be a finder's fee income. It could be a percentage income. But whatever it is, always have something that can lead you to bigger and better opportunities. Maybe you don't want the small amount. Maybe you don't want the finder's fee. Why? Because some people know that the more they wait, they're bound to get higher percentage returns from what God is going to give them eventually. Isn't that right, people?
Yes, I like
Amen.
that.
Yes. So this is what this book is about. How to win with people is more about how to win with yourself. And when Reggie hit it in the beginning, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to have to end this here because he said it. Are you still there, Reg?
Yes.
Is there any way you could just quickly summarize what you said? Because what you said is very powerful. I mean, everyone said something very powerful, but Reg started it. So I got to give him the curse.
I don't know. I don't remember exactly what I said, but my thing is the initial thing that I hit on was the fact of the putting so much emphasis on yourself. Like the book said that people, there's a lot of background noise. I'm not sure what that is. Anyway, so the book said, well, it was a mention of how we put like 80 some odd percent, I think it was like 84, 86% of our attention on ourselves. And I just said, well, maybe if we just turn that around instead of doing it that way and just turn it into putting more emphasis and activity and taking our attention away from ourselves, because we're a lot of times caught up in our own ego and our own problems and our own everything. So if we can just turn that around and stop seeing ourselves as the center of the universe, not to say that we're not a very integral part, but just put some more time and attention to other people and things. And by doing that, like there's this whole concept of to serve other people is the way you really like kind of win in life. So we can start serving more people and putting more time into people. And taking our attention away from ourselves and an emphasis and all the praise that we put on ourselves and put it on other people, then we can like elevate other people, and in turn we ultimately will be elevating ourselves. So that's the short of it.
What Reggie said is pretty much what I said in a little bit different terminology, but I want to leave you with this. I don't know if you sell or not for a living, but the best way to sell is not to sell. If you understand where I'm coming from, then you're going to become a better salesperson than you can imagine. What does this mean, that the best way to sell is not to sell at all? What does that mean? It means that if you sell, I mean, for example, insurance. I sell insurance, right? I don't talk about it much. Why? Because I want to hear about you. I want to know how I can add value to you. So, for example, how does this work? So, for example, you know, Gina and I having a conversation, and Gina says, you know, David, how you doing? I go, well, not too great. I just lost my mother, you know, and we thought she had a fortune that she was going to leave us, and you know, she left us nothing. And then Gina would turn around and say, what do you mean, David? No fortune? I said, yeah, no fortune. We were expecting some sort of, you know, investment that she had made and would have made some returns for us. And then Gina would respond, returns? What do you mean by returns? So then I'd go, in reality, we all want something to be given to us. And how would Gina respond? And said, well, if you're looking to give, have you thought about covering yourself so that you'd be able to leave something for your kids and your wife or your spouse? So that's how you sell. You don't sell by being a pushy salesman and saying, I have insurance. You've got to get it. That's what everybody does, you know, and it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Martha is a great cook, and she doesn't sell herself. However, I've seen what she does. I've tasted what she does. And most people don't know that. So the only way to become an expert salesperson, and this all ties in, is to be able to listen to other people. Listen. Angela hit it, Gina hit it, Martha hit it, I believe Charles, but Reggie was the first one, so that's why I gave him the credit. But you all hit it. You've got to listen. I mean, if you don't listen, then it's going to be more about me than it is about the person that's trying to communicate. So remember, if you want to win with people, there are 25 ways to win with people, but the number one is win with yourself. That's it. That's today's class. And I tell you, this is a very powerful book. It's not the whole book. You didn't listen to the whole book. Right? I could have given you a longer version, but I found that shorter version. I said, let me give him the shorter version. Right? That's not the whole book. The whole book is at least another 2 to 3 hours longer, at least. Okay? At least. So if you learned something, great. If you didn't, then I'm sorry. I'm not a great teacher yet, but I will get there. I will get there, and I know you will too, right? So that's it for the book review, but I wanted to go over one important topic because some of you have, unless anyone else has a question in reference to this book, quick question, because I want to end this as quickly as possible. Anyone have any question on this book or anything? Okay. Okay, good. So I have asked each and every one of you if you're available for classes on Tuesdays or Thursdays. Some of you would be easier on Thursdays, and most are available on Tuesdays. So I wanted to ask, is it worthwhile to rotate twice a month on Thursdays and twice a month on Tuesdays? I want to ask because you're the ones that are participating. So I will listen to those who are here in this call, and I will ask those who are on Thursday because they have asked if we could move it to Thursdays. And the reality is is that I like Tuesdays, and I know that there are other commitments in people's minds. So all I need to know is yes or no. Would you mind getting a staggered schedule, meaning 1 week Tuesday like this week, and then next week Thursday?
David, I
Well,
find value in it. So whenever day you have it, just let us know. You know, I'll definitely try to amend my
Okay,
schedule.
that's Charles. Okay, Charles.
yeah.
Thank
I guess
Tina.
I'm willing to work it out too. I do prefer Tuesdays. I have like set out a time for this, you know, and
Okay.
whenever other people say, okay, can I meet you on Tuesday night at such and such time? Like, no, 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 no. I have my book club on that night, you know,
Oh,
at
thank
set
you, Tina.
times. So yeah.
I'm set on Tuesday as well. To
Ty, okay, Tuesdays, okay. And I know Reggie also, he said that the Tuesdays, Angela, I believe, would like Thursdays. However, I'm going to work out some deal with, as long as I get a commitment from, I think it's 3 or 4 people that I wanted Thursdays, I'll do a session for them on the review because their input is just as powerful.
Mhm.
And Floyd, I believe, likes Tuesdays as well. From last week is what he said. I don't remember if you're there.
That's
I think
correct.
Juan and Elmer, I believe we've had the talk as well that they like Tuesdays.
Mhm.
So I know that the 3 of you have been quiet in the class, but I know that you're learning and that you have given more nuggets to this class than I could ever imagine giving to this class. So thank you. So we're gonna keep the classes on Tuesdays, and then I'm gonna talk to each of the people individually to see what we can work out for Thursday, so that I can meet with them twice a month on Thursdays, maybe a shorter review. But again,
And I can always listen to the recordings. The only reason why I need to go Thursdays is right now we're not doing a class, but I'm a leadership at my church, and we do Bible study on Tuesdays. And so we start up again on June 30th. So we're not having it right now, but we do start up again on June 30th. And then it's going to be every Tuesday for the next 12 weeks, like it was for that's why I wasn't a part of it before. So that's the only reason why I was saying Thursday would work better.
thank you, Angela. And
Mhm.
we want to make it better for you too. So that's why we'll talk. We'll talk about that. So everyone, the most important thing here, build yourself, listen to others. Build yourself, listen to others. Build yourself, listen to others. That is one of the reasons why I want to hear from you at the beginning of the class instead of at the end. Because if I listen from you, I know what you have learned. I can communicate and build value to what you've given. And it has just changed my life going the other way around. Instead of after I talk, then having you respond. No, I'd rather have you communicate instead of a response at the end. It's much more powerful for me, and it should be much more powerful for you. Does that make sense, or am I like totally in left field or something?
It makes sense.
Thank you.
makes sense.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
I have something to say.
Say it. Yes.
I want to thank you to you, David, for this dedication, your time. I know you're a very busy person. You have family too, as well. And I know your time is valuable for you and for us, because I get very motivated, but that's what the book say, to get motivated,
Yes. Yes, it does.
to make healthy, to be healthy, emotional and body, to be able to work with another people, to have the energy to work. You need to have the energy to work with another people. And you put all your energy to us and to teach us and give you some choice about different kind of books. They're all amazing. For me, it was like my brain is opened for a new world. It's a different world for me. And
Wow.
I learned a lot. a lot of new. I learned a lot of new word for me because it's my second language, and help me to grow up in English, to grow up in my language, in my second language, and to learn about this world and to another people. And I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And I hope all your dreams come true. I hope your daughter, I can see your daughter walking and talking, because the first day I know you in 2018, you was talking about your daughter.
Yes.
So 2 years
That's
ago.
right.
It's a
2 years.
passion. You have a passion for that.
Yes.
And I hope that all your dreams come true. And thank you very much, because all you help you give it to us is going to return to you. I hope so your dreams come true.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. I don't want to keep this too long because I know you all have commitments as well, but thank you. And all I ask is apply. Apply what you're learning. That's how this Mastermind Book Club works. Apply what you're learning. What are the 2 things I want you to take from this book? The 25 Ways to Win with People is about winning with yourself. Reggie said it. Thank you, Reggie, and Angela, and Gina, and everyone has said it. Win with yourself. And then the second is, listen. That's it. Don't focus on 25. Focus on number 1 is you. And then number 2 is listen. You will resolve and you will become a master salesman if you learn how to listen. That's it. All right? Do not sell. Listen. That's the best way to sell. All right? Everyone have a great evening. This is it for tonight's session of Mastermind Book Club. Thank you, Martha, Charles, Gina, Angela, Reggie, Ty. Thank you, Floyd. Thank you, Daquan, and thank you, Elmer, and everyone else. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You have made this another successful session of the Mastermind Book Club. Have a great
You're
evening.
welcome.
Until next Tuesday,
Thanks so much.
we have a book that's going to
Good night,
take about
everyone.
2 to
Good
review.
night,
2
everyone.
weeks. All right? So this first part of
Awesome.
the book is going to be like half of the book, and then the following week we'll do the other one. These are very good books. So as we come across them, I have a format. I have veered off the path of the format so that we can now get back onto the format. Okay?
Okay.
Great. Everyone have a great
Martha.
Thank you.
Sorry. Very well said, Martha. David, tú eres fantástico.
Thank you. Have a great night.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
night.
Muchas gracias.
Good night, everyone.
Good
Good
night.
night.